In this intense courtroom showdown, Christopher Norwood Wright stands accused of not one, but two domestic violence charges, layered with probation violations and the shocking possession of a taser. As the judge prepares to deliver a brutal truth, Wright's mother and wife come forward with emotional pleas, torn between love, fear, and the future of three innocent children. But what happens when addiction, violence, and second chances collide? This isn't just another court case. This is a family on the edge. Buckle up because what you're about to witness is heartbreaking, raw, and all too real.
All right, next up is People versus Christopher Norwood Wright, file 241606 SM, is a domestic violence with a probation violation attached. File 251777 is a plea to domestic violence. It was a FY. It started as a felony case, carrying a concealed weapon and sale or possession of a taser. Mr. John Bush represents the defendant in both matters. Angelique Camfield is here on behalf of the prosecution. I asked for a pre-sentence report, which I've received. The complaining witnesses are here. Mr. Wright is not doing very well. Mr. Bush, what would you like me to know?
He's been in jail for some period of time. He's signed a release and he's dealt with Pivotal 2 times on a face-to-face basis. He had a substance abuse assessment on October 10th, and it's my understanding that there is a recommendation for residential treatment. He's gone to Celebrate Recovery one time at the jail, twice now, excuse me, and he's been prescribed some antidepressants from Pivotal, and he's been taking that medication. He's trying to use his time to the best of his ability. There's a program called EDOVO, EDOVO, and he's completed, I believe, 62 online classes that he's been able to do independently at the jail. These are mostly in the area of domestic violence and anger management. Is that correct? And substance abuse.
62 online classes, substance abuse programs, antidepressants. On paper, it sounds like Christopher is doing the work. But is this self-improvement or just a strategy to reduce sentencing? It's a question courts face every day. How do you separate genuine reform from rehearsed remorse? Let us know in the comments. Do you think these efforts are sincere or strategic?
He shares with me when he's released, he would like to get involved in culinary arts. And he's been looking into some programs where he can maybe go to a post-high school program. And Mr. Frazan spent a lot of time putting this together, and I commend him for that report. I would ask the court to integrate those recommendations when the time is right. I don't mean to play words. Mr. Wright would very much want to reconcile with his wife and his mother, realize that he's going to have to regain their trust, and a lot of it's going to be by showing them he can live a sober lifestyle. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Frazan drew 2 tough assignments here this morning. Ms. Camfield, what's your thought here?
Your Honor, I'd like Ms. Corazzini to be able to make her statement prior to my giving a recommendation to the court. If that's okay.
All right. That would be your mother.
Correct.
And that would be.
And then our victim advocate will be reading a statement from the other victim on her behalf.
Kathleen Corazzini, would you come up to the podium? Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
You're Kathleen Corazzini.
Yes, sir.
You're the complaining witness in file 241606. That's the one that allegedly did occur in August of 2024. I'd like to hear what you want me to know.
Well, first of all, I love my son very much, and I want to see him get help if that's what he chooses. I take domestic violence very seriously. And to me, that incident was very terrifying. However, I can understand somewhat anger issues that he has due to his addiction of meth. And I forgive him. And I believe if he gets the help that he needs, that he can be rehabilitated. He's got a big heart. And because he's been on meth for quite a long time, he doesn't know how do I put it? The difference of like what reality is versus what the drugs do to him. He's got a beautiful family, beautiful wife, 3 children. One's 3 years old, one's 15 months old, and one's 7 weeks old. And I know he misses them terribly. I just wanted to seek help in-house.
Wright's mother delivers a haunting testimony, equal parts heartbreak and hope. She acknowledges the terror of his actions, but insists she'll never give up on him. This is where the court isn't just a legal arena. It's a battleground of unconditional love versus unbearable trauma. How would you respond if your own child harmed you? Would you stand by them like she is?
Rehabilitation. I don't think it would do him any good to be put on probation and then have to hit the streets again, because that's all he knows. He really needs somebody professional to help him. And Stina, his wife, and I, we are not capable of doing that. We enable him more than what professional people could do to help him. And I know he can get well. I know if he puts his whole body and soul into it, he can do it. He can. I'm not ever going to give up on him. Thank you.
All right, thank you. It's a hard, cold look at it. Ms. Ackerman is going to read a statement. This is from his wife.
Stina.
And that is Swedish name. Let me see if I can get it right. Stina, S-T-I-N-E, Krog Ostad.
My name is Stina Krugstad. I'm Christopher Chris Wright's wife. Together, we have 3 beautiful kids who are 3 years old, 15 months old, and almost 7 weeks old. I love my husband very much, but his behavior and drug use has been getting really bad, so bad that I had to put an end to it for our kids' sake. I told my husband it's the drugs or his family because he can't have both. I don't want him locked up because how is it going to help him? To let him out without a specific plan or program is also not going to make a difference. My husband needs to learn to get away from his street mentality and street drugs. If you give my husband minimum a year program where he has a roof over his head, food on the table, and professional help, I believe there is hope that we can be a family raising our beautiful kids together. Nothing would make me happier than knowing that there is a possible future with my husband and kids. After all, the future cannot change the past, but what we do today can have an effect on our future, good or bad. With the right help, I believe my husband will be able to provide stability in his life. As much as I love him and want to spend my life with him, I won't settle for less than a stable home, income, and something from my husband for us to have a future together.
May I have that? Thank you.
It's the drugs or your family. That line right there, it's a defining ultimatum, a moment where a woman puts her children's safety above all else. Stina's not just a wife here, she's a mother in survival mode. She wants rehab over prison, but only with structure. Her ask is clear, real recovery or real consequences.
All right, Ms. Canfield.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate both Ms. Corazini and Ms. Krogstad making those statements to the court. I think it's important to hear how this has affected them. For the defendant, I'm sure he's had plenty of time to think about it. I've had an opportunity to reflect on his letter. It appears that he's come to his rock bottom and he's ready to accept responsibility for his addiction and to work hard towards recuperating from that. So that is a good sign. One can remain cautiously optimistic about that statement. I think it's clear that both his mother and his wife love him deeply, and he would have a support system if he's able to get himself sober and rehabilitated and on the road to recovery. That's going to be the hard part for him. I do think that as I read the case summary for what he did to his mother, pushed her onto the couch at least twice. She got up and grabbed her by the throat, pushed her against the wall while yelling at her, applying pressure. Thankfully, she could still breathe, but she did have bruising on her arms and person after that particular instance. And with respect to his wife, since his mother had to get a personal protection.
Let's be real, this wasn't a scuffle, it was a full-blown assault. Grabbing his mother by the throat and leaving visible bruises? That's not just losing control, that's violent behavior with real consequences. The court isn't just weighing addiction here, it's weighing safety. And when family is the victim, every decision gets 10 times harder.
Protection order against him. When his wife was concerned, she fled to mom's home with the children in hopes of being safe there, and that is where the defendant came in possession of a taser and assaulted his wife. So I think that reflecting on Mr. Frazine's recommendations, each of them have a recommendation for jail. Each of them have a recommendation for remaining jail to be served, which I think are more than appropriate. The recommendation is just for the jail on Ms. Corazini's case. And then there's a recommendation for a lengthy probation with a treatment, a detoxification program after some jail clean time. And then a mandated year-long or long-term, at least, inpatient treatment program with adult challenge. I think those are excellent recommendations. Hopefully, the defendant, after he completes his jail time, puts 110% effort into these rehabilitation programs like he says he's going to. That's the only way he's going to be successful and be able to have any type of relationship with his mother, his wife, and his children. I fully believe Ms. Krogstad when she says it's the drugs or the family, because she asked for a divorce on the day that he showed up with the taser.
The emotional climax? His wife fleeing with their kids, only to be assaulted with a taser? That's when she asked for a divorce. Let that sink in. When love turns to fear, the justice system becomes the last line of defense. And that no contact order? It's not a punishment, it's a shield.
With the taser. And he assaulted her after she asked for the divorce. So I am going to ask that throughout this term of probation and treatment, there be a continued order of no contact unless and until that is requested to be modified by either party. And only at the discretion of Mr. Frazine. I think the recs are appropriate and I would ask that the court follow them. And that's probably going to be the last opportunity this man has to save his marriage and be with his children.
My understanding was this second incident. There was the one from August and you went AWOL for a year and till they caught up with you on the second incident, which was September 5th. My understanding was your child was born the previous day, September 4th. Third. So 2 days before. No wonder your wife wants.
Imagine this, your child is born, and instead of holding him, you're out getting high on meth. That's exactly what Christopher did. No wonder the judge explodes with disbelief. It's not just neglect, it's emotional abandonment at the most sacred moment of a child's life. Can a father come back from that?
A divorce. Were you even there when the child was born?
Yeah.
Then you went out and got high in the meantime, right after your newborn child is born. And she's just at the end of her rope. It's probably her first day back from the hospital. She's in the hospital. You go out and get, is it meth high?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are the opioids in there anywhere or just methamphetamine? I read your letter. You say an interesting thing. My path is harder because my calling is higher. You don't want to do the minimum, you want to do the maximum. Saying it is easier than doing it, but you're a mess. You are like a Tasmanian devil, whirlwind of chaos visited on your family. That's a cruel thing to say, but it's
Tasmanian devil. That's not just a metaphor. It's the court's way of describing the destruction he's caused. From state to state, a trail of chaos follows Christopher like a shadow. This is where addiction, unresolved trauma, and violence brew into something the court must contain before it spreads any further.
true. You're making their life less worthy. You're making their life miserable. Your mother, your wife, your kids, you're angry about the things that happened to you when you were a kid. You're revisiting all those things on your kids. It's just total chaos. And you need quite a bit of clean time to get your head straight. But this is, and your chaos is all over the place. It isn't just here. And it goes on for years. Vandalized property, Massachusetts, harassing communications, criminal trespass, Oregon, possession of controlled substance, false ID, Paris, California, Las Vegas, Nevada, prison sentence, parole violation, 2020, Camden, New Jersey, violate a domestic order, Gloucester, New Jersey, resist a police officer, Las Vegas, burglary of a business, Las Vegas, Atlantic City, New Jersey. I don't know how you ended up in Three Rivers, but you brought your whirlwind of chaos here.
This man's rap sheet reads like a nationwide tour of destruction. Massachusetts, Oregon, California, Nevada, New Jersey. It's more than a personal crisis. It's a pattern. The courtroom is now tasked with asking, is this the moment that breaks the cycle or just another chapter?
One problem, if it is a problem, I only have 93 days to work with. These are concurrent. by operation of law, I'd like to do 93 and then put another 93 at the end. But I think, well, he was on bond on the first one when he committed the second one.
Yeah, I thought they could be
So I think they can
consecutive.
be consecutive.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. I was thinking that the warrant hadn't been served. Mr. Frazine, you've looked into, now the family wants long-term treatment, and I certainly agree. The problem is there's enough of it to go around.
That was harder, it's actually harder for men. Unfortunately, Mrs. Frank is really amazing at the jail. She really tries hard and she communicates amazingly well. And I've been, on both these cases, I've been in a lot of communication with her. He is approved for Bear River. Teen Challenge will not take him, no matter if he spent a year in jail, unless he goes to an official detox. So the plan is, I think I've done my math right, he would spend at least another 3 or 4 days, give or take, with good time, so that they could get the transportation lined up for Bear River. Then he would go there for a 28-day detox and get some tools and some education. And then they would wait till they get a bed and coordinate with Teen Challenge, which he has, as far as I know, been approved thus far. Nothing's eliminated him. He just doesn't have an official approval yet. They're waiting to see what happens with the Bear River, I believe. But that is all lined up, and that's one of the reasons why I structured it the way I did. So we'd be done the first one, then we'd have some time so that she could get him to the Bear River, and he wouldn't just get released today.
Bear River Detox and Teen Challenge, these aren't just programs, they're lifelines. But here's the kicker. Even these rehab facilities won't take him unless he detoxes first. The court is bending over backward to set up a plan, even synchronizing jail time with bed availability. That level of detail, that's a system praying for a comeback story.
You won the lottery. What we're talking about here probably costs more than $100,000. And
This entire rehab structure? It's worth over $100,000, and he's not paying a dime. Let that sink in. Hundreds need this kind of support, and he just got a golden ticket. The judge knows it, the audience should know it. This is a once-in-a-lifetime second chance. Now the question is, will he waste it?
someone else is paying it. And we got hundreds of people that need such treatment. And Lauren Frank is who he's referring to. She's our jail liaison from Pivotal, and she's really doing a good job for our people. And we've got a good working relationship with her. On the earlier case, there's some additional jail credit in that case. You were AWOL for a year, out wrecking your family's life. We'd addressed this last August. We'd been farther ahead than we are now. In that case, which is 241606 SM, I'm going to order 53 days jail credit, 53 days.
I think it's credit, well, if you're not including, just do days, I think he's at, I had 40, unless I'm wrong. I want to check that, I might be wrong on that.
Well, he had right now.
Oh, you're right, 53, I'm sorry.
He has 43 days plus the additional days he had the first time. So it comes out to 53. I'll waive all the fines and costs in that case. The probation is going to be in the second case. I'm going to order 93 days jail credit 0, leaving 93 days to serve. All right, again, Waive everything but the minimum cost. Doing 1 year, $125. Probation is 24 months. So 93 days. I'll call it 90 are deferred. I'm not sure he's been in jail long enough, frankly, for his detox. I got a nice letter over the weekend. Somebody sent an email to the county email address, which the administrator forwarded to me from Holly, telling me what a good program Bear River is. And advocating just for the quality of the program. So thank you, Holly. And I'm familiar with Bear River. All right, no drugs, no alcohol, test as directed, no contact.
Your Honor, I do know that in Teen Challenge, they do allow families. Would be okay if we could like have them visit in a supervised setting such as Teen Challenge, so we can see his kids and stuff. It'll be at least, because he has to wait till they're at
Well,
least 2
you'll
months
have the
in, so it'll be like-
discretion
Okay,
until no contact without approval of probation. With his mother or his wife or his kids. Your kid's gonna need to get to know who you are underneath all this Tasmanian.
Let's not downplay this ruling. No contact with his wife, kids, or even his mother unless approved. The judge is building a wall, not to punish, but to protect. This is where the court takes control of access, time, and trust, and it's earned, not given.
Devil may be released to Bear River in Boyne City and/or Teen Challenge. It's not for teens anymore, it's for adults, and I've seen people make amazing success stories, but it's hard, it's long, it's like a year long. And frankly, that's what you need. You're not gonna just do a flyby and be recovered from this. You got a lot of really hard work to do. So, no drugs, no alcohol, 90 days, 93 days, 90 are deferred. It's consecutive to the other case. $125 fine due within 1 year. Treatment as directed. No contact without approval of probation officer. May be released to Bear River and/or Teen Challenge. Sign a release. Cannot leave without permission. You got a lot of making up to do, but apparently your wife and your mother still love you, support you, and they want you back. They want you back, not the Tasmanian devil. Sower of chaos. And so do your kids. You got a new child you don't even know. You've been in jail since 2 days. Is a son?
My daughter.
She doesn't know you. She doesn't know what you smell like. She doesn't know what you sound like. She doesn't know what you feel like. She's going to be a year old before you even, well, months old before you get to see her. You can't go back and get this time over again. So we can't do anything about the time that's passed and do things about what's coming in the future. That's a big AA province. You can't change.
She doesn't know what you smell like. The judge's words cut deep. Christopher's daughter has lived nearly her whole life without him. And what she does know comes from stories of addiction and chaos. This is the cost of his choices. Time lost, memories unmade. There's no parole from fatherhood. You either show up or you don't.
Past, but you certainly can have a better future for you and your family. And there's no reason why you shouldn't have a job. At some point, you're gonna need to get out and be a father and a support to your family. And I think if we can get you clean, we can accomplish that. All right, you're good to go,
Your
sir.
Honor, may I just clarify one term of the court?
Yes,
When you say cannot leave the program without permission, are you speaking of Mr. Frazine or the court or both?
but no, without permission of the facility. If he walks out of Bear River, which has happened more than a few times, he's in violation of the terms of his probation. He's not to leave the program without consent of the program.
I'm just contemplating a scenario in which the program doesn't want to keep him any longer because he's not participating or
Then-
something's happened.
Then he'll come back to us.
All right, thank you.
We've had this situation, as I said, more than a few times. C2 judgments. Mr. Wright, for the sake of your family and your kids, I hope you can make the best of this. As I said, this is a very valuable resource and somebody pulled a lot of strings to get it for you. So let's see if we can make this work.
Thank you, Your Honor. I will.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Christopher Norwood Wright just received what may be his final shot at redemption. 93 days in jail, followed by long-term rehab and a tightly controlled probation. The court waived thousands in fines, secured premium treatment, and still the family waits, cautiously hopeful. If he fails again, the fallout won't just be legal, it'll be personal. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns. Until next time, stay sharp, stay informed, and stay tuned.